Leaving your personal Egypt. You know, the Jewish people, they left Egypt 3,334 years ago. But each one of us is going to leave our personal Egypt this particular Passover. So what is it all about? So really, people have a very, very small view of themselves. People see themselves as like these scrawny nothings. I remember when my grandfather used to take us to sheep shearing. He was a wool trader. He would take us sheep shearing, and we would get out of his Jeep, and there would be all these gigantic sheep, and we were so scared of the sheep. We were hiding under his legs, and they were really going to be shorn. So they got to the shearers, and the sheep, would go from these gigantic woolly sheep to these scrawny, goopy, full of what's called lanolin, very thin, scrawny sheep, just like oversized rats or something. We came out from under my grandfather's legs. We were no longer afraid of those sheep. Each one of us has, underneath all the wool, we all have that scrawny sheep, that what we call mochin de katnis in Hebrew, which means constricted consciousness, but even a constricted consciousness about ourselves. And we live very often in a very small view of ourselves. Now, what's the wool? So the wool is how we show up. That, look at me with all my wool. Look at my beautiful coat of wool. And we show off, and we go for attention, and we do, anything to not feel that scrawny self. Well, the term for scrawniness in Hebrew is the word meitzar, mem tzadik resh. And the word for wool is tzemer, tzadik mem resh. It's the same letters. Now, why would it be that the big coat of wool is the same letters as the scrawny self? And the answer is because the root of the showing off, the root of the attention seeking, the root of the being the big guy is really the scrawny guy. Underneath the show off is the person who's really afraid that they're not worthy of anyone's attention whatsoever. And so herein lies the secret of leaving your personal Egypt. It's a chance right now to take a moment and just look inside yourself and say, where am I really generating from? Am I generating from an expanded consciousness, which in Hebrew is mochin de gadlus, it's probably Aramaic, mochin de gadlus, or am I, which is expansive consciousness, which includes how I see myself as a portion of God. I'm a chilek elokam mimal. I'm part of God. I'm created in His image, like a really expanded version of self. Or am I really seeing myself as the scrawny, good for nothing? No one wants him. No one needs him. No one, that failure, small, unwanted, unworthy, worthless self, which is the scrawniness. That's the Egypt. That's the meitzar. And so we have this chance on the 10th of Nisan, which is my birthday. We're going to have this chance, which is coming up in a few days, where we take that sheep and we tie it up and inspect it for 4 days. Just like the Pas View, which runs, at least in America, for 4 days, or in England, runs for 4 days. So we inspect the sheep, like, where am I generating from? Is it from the big self, the self that comes straight from Hashem, or is it from the negative beliefs inside of myself? Is that where I'm generating from? And then, of course, am I surviving off this big coat of wool? Meaning am I trying to be big stuff in the world, trying to get attention, trying to seek adoration? Is that what's going on with me? And if it is, it's true, because it's exhausting. It's exhausting. It's never enough. You got to keep doing it. Because the second you would stop using those tactics for that attention, so then you're right back to the scrawny, narrowness. And so we are very. So this is our chance, is to go deep inside, to look into ourselves and say, what am I all about? Where am I generating from? And then on the fourth day of inspection, which is the 14th of Nisan, what do? We slaughter the sheep. And then we go out to freedom. And then we eat it. We eat the shawarma, the Korban Passover, the Pesach offering, the Paschal Lamb. We're the Paschal Lamb. That we sacrifice ourselves to just do what's right, to just do what's good, to make a difference in the world, to be a contribution. So I'm not taking, but I'm actually giving. And that is the ultimate freedom. And that's the ultimate freedom also to serve Hashem, to be a servant of God in this world. Pesach Sameach, happy and kosher Passover.